warm-ups. So after this, all of your warm-ups should be done. So check them. Make sure that they're all done because I'm gonna stamp those. Okay, so first one here, number 8, make the triangle. Always to the x-axis, never to the y. Always the x, never the y. The y is hot lava. We don't touch it. Safety on the x-axis, not the y. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay, and we already have the math kind of over here. So this is, I'm just going to do it again. 180 divided by 6 is 30. We use this calculation in all 3 of these. That's because there's only 2 options. It's either a 30, 60, 90 or a 45, 45, 90. Then I grabbed my triangle off of my unit circle and I label the sides. So that's 1/2 root 3 over 2. And I'm in quadrant 2. I'm in quadrant 2. So what does that mean for me here? I'm talking about signs, positives and negatives. If I'm in quadrant 2, what does that mean? Negative on the x because you go back and up. You're graphing back and up. Okay, and then sine is the y, which would be 1/2. Did I go through all kinds of extra stuff to get 1/2? Yes. Yes, I did. Did I do it on purpose? Yes. Yes, I did. So that you could be prepared to get sine, cosine, or tangent. Okay, so I said this yesterday. I'm going to say it one more time today. When you're making your note card for the test, which is a week from today, put these 2 triangles on it and this little bit about what is what. Do not draw the whole unit circle. You will not need it. All you need are the triangles. And if you don't have this memorized, then this little bit. Okay, last one. Oh, look, it's got a 4 in the denominator. Thank goodness. Okay. Draw my triangle. 180 divided by 4 is 45. Most of you probably can visualize the fact that that's a 45, 45, 90 just from its shape. And here is the 45, 45, 90. So the hypotenuse is 1. And the legs are both root 2 over 2. Okay, what quadrant is this in? 3. And what do you know about the signs of things in quadrant 3? All negative, yep. Okay, now tangent is y over x. Y is this. X is this. And since they're exactly the same thing, they divide to be 1. So tangent is 1. Which is way better, in my opinion, than rationalizing the denominator and all that. Okay, at this moment, your warm-ups should be done. Glance through those. If you don't have any of those, they're all on videos except numbers 18 and 20, because I accidentally forgot to hit record because I'm special. But if you need to look at any of the warm-ups, I'll have my packet out at some point. Okay. Next, please find this. Okay, here we go. Number one. Can you guys hi, I love you very much. Can you okay, thanks. Okay. Expand completely using Pascal's triangle. I'm gonna make a Pascal's triangle over here in the corner. Starts with 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. And that's as far as I need to go on Pascal's triangle because I have fourth power. So I'm in row 4. Okay. Equals 1, 3x to the full power of the problem. Negative 2y to the 0. Make sure that when you have subtraction in your problem that you make whatever's in the back seat negative. Plus 4. 3x goes down a power. Negative 2y goes up a power. 6. 3x goes down a power. Negative 2y goes up a power. Plus 4. 3x goes down a power. Negative 2y goes up a power. Plus 1. 3x to the 0. Negative 2y to the 4. Okay, so my checks 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. My exponents go 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and my other exponents go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to simplify this twice because there's like stuff. So cancel, 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 cancel. 3x times 3x times 3x times 3x is 81x to the 4th. Plus 4 times 27x cubed times negative 2y. Okay, so this 4, if you're looking up here, this 4 is this 4. 3x times 3x times 3x makes 27x cubed. And negative 2y to the first is negative 2y. Plus 6 times 9x squared times 4y squared. Be really careful with this. Negative 2y times negative 2y is positive 4y squared. Okay, now I'm on the second row. Plus 4 times 3x times 8y cubed. And then this is, that's negative 8y cubed, isn't it? And then positive 16y to the 4th. Okay, this is just a little learning tool I use. I've had a lot of people distributing, and that really scares me because that means that people don't know how multiplication works. When you multiply 3 numbers together, you only multiply them straight together. So if I have 2 times 3 times 4. That doesn't mean that I do 2 times 3 and 2 times 4. So that's multiplication, just works in one groups. So I'm going to group these things according to the in between the plus sign. So 81x to the fourth. Okay, right here, I'm going to go in the calculator and go 4 times 27 times -2. Just multiply the three numbers together. There's no distributing. Six times 9 times 4. Weird. Four times 3 times -8 is -96. Okay, now number 2 is one where it just asks you to find one term. You don't have to find the whole list. You can find the whole list if you want, and then just circle the fourth term. I'm not going to do that because I'm too lazy. I'm going to use combinations on this one. So I'm in row 4. So that means I have 4 combination something. So row 4 is 4 combination something. And remember that each row starts with combination 0. So it's going to be 4 combination 3. I take one away from whichever one they want. Okay, now the back seat, leave a little space. The back seat has to be to the same power as the R in NCR. And then the front seat's power has to add to the total of 4. Okay, so now we're going to go on the calculator and do 4 combination 3. I don't know how many times you've done this. You might want to practice it. You hit the 4 first, then math, then scroll to probability, and then there's your permutation, combination, and factorial. Okay, now you're going to say to yourself, Mrs. Talbot, would it be possible for me, because I drew Pascal's triangle over here, to just go into the fourth term to get the 4 from there? Yes. The problem with that is then you have to have some extra thought about what the exponent would be for each of these. But if you can reason that out, that's totally fine. Who moved on to number 3 without me? I heard it. You discussing order of operations on number 3 without Mrs. Talbot? Wow. Okay. Number 3, -3 from both sides. Divide by 8 like they were doing ahead of schedule. Okay, so now it's a squirrel in the tree problem. We hit it with a log on both sides and bring the exponent in front, but what type of log? Mhm. So I brought the exponent in front, natural log both sides. Natural log and E are inverses of each other, so they cancel. And then calculator, so natural log button is located right next to the 4. Negative 0.6863. Okay. Number 4, check the sign is plus. That means it's multiplication. Then you say guide and circle or cross out. Cross out. Move the 68 over so you can diamond box. It's 17 and 4. Okay, if you looked at the answer key for this problem, there's only going to be x equals 4. Why is that? Yeah, so if I remember, you're supposed to check these, but we can be smart about it. If I put natural log of negative 17 in the calculator, it's going to give me an error. So we lightly cross that out. That is extraneous. Does it mean that they're always extraneous when they're a negative? No. You actually have to like put some thought into it. Because the first sometimes it's like x squared, and the first thing you do is make it positive. So just plug it back in is my advice. Okay, last one of these. Subtraction is division. Natural log 10 over x plus 4 equals 3. And this one is a guide and circle problem because you can't cross out. So what do? You change the natural log to be log base e so that you have something to make your circle with. The natural log is log base e. And we switch it because when we do our loop-de-loop deal, we like to start our arrow at the base of the log. And if there's not one written there, I mean, you guys can assume it's e after a few problems. E to the third equals 10 over x plus 4. Okay, now don't get weirded out. Just cross multiply. make yourself type this in the calculator because you feel like it's got a variable, but it doesn't. Okay, number 6, Michaela spelled wrong, invests $6,525 in a retirement account with fixed annual interest rate of 7% compounded 4 times per year. What will the account balance be after 17 years? Okay, because this is notes, I'm gonna write the formula. These are my favorite. Just literally plug in the stuff. I heard you say, how can she memorize this? It's just because I do it 40 hours a week. Random formulas. Okay, so reminder, P is principal, which is your initial amount, which is your investment. This is a 1. This is the rate, the percent changed to a decimal. This is, these two 4s are how many times per year, and then the 17 is years, and then go straight to the calculator. I love these. And you can type these in one fell swoop. Okay, the only thing that I ask is that we have educated students leaving Benicia High School and that you round to the nearest penny properly, because if you learn nothing else from me is to write money down without like a tenths place like that. I don't even know. I don't even know. This would never happen, by the way. Oh, my favorite problems of all time. Could I just have a worksheet of those? Okay, number 7. This one says continuously. That uses a different formula. It's called PERT. Principles in the front, rate time, calculator. $5,232.10. Okay, take a reflection moment, look at that first page. Is there anything you want to address before we move on? Anything you want to talk about from the first page? Yes, Connor. Um, well, I always invite you to grab a separate piece of paper. I don't remember because I made the test like 3 weeks ago. I made it before spring break. I know, I'm on it. I just copied the final exam review packets yesterday. Um, but I know I'm crazy. I'm crazy ahead, which is good. But I don't actually remember the answer to your question. So if it's not enough room for you, please grab a separate sheet and staple it on. It's totally fine. Also, I liked your expand on your quiz. That made me happy. Wait, which year ago? I don't remember. Okay. Flip to the second page. All right, and this whole page is series. So I don't know why I feel like we did this first and this is what needs the most work, but okay. Evaluate each arithmetic series described. Evaluate means find the sum. Sum equals n over 2 first term plus last term. Okay. Sum equals 10 over 2, 37 plus, oh no. Okay, so there are some students, not in this class really, but in my other math 3 classes that really just like to list out the numbers and then just get the last one. I'm too lazy to do that. I like to do it with the actual formula. So down here, I'm going to find the equation of this series, and it tells me that the first term is 37 and it's growing by 10. So that would be 47, 57. And you could see the lure of just writing this out to the 10th number to get the last term. But I'm not going to do that because I want to make sure I understand what to do if it asks me to go out 479 terms or something. Okay, so the number in front would be 27. Are we all good with that? Okay, so our formula would be 10n plus 27. Everybody good? Okay, and now to get the last term, I'm going to plug in 10. Which kind of makes me feel stupid now because I feel like I could have counted that out 10 numbers in my head. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? It's fine. We did the whole problem. It's cool. It's cool. So 10 over 2, 37 plus 127.
You're gonna know all the formulas on the deck.
No, because you have a note card.
Oh,
So what I would do if I were you is I would just look at the top of one of my quizzes and just because they're so nicely printed and just copy those onto my note card. And I'm gonna go over the topics when we're done. I actually want to do 3 things today. Was the warm-ups, this, actually there's 4 things. I wanted to do warm-ups, this, just look at the test topics real quick, and then I wanted to take any questions from either your joke log thing or your maze thing in case you guys had questions on that. Okay, anyway, sigma notation. I'm gonna do 2 of them. I'm gonna do one in terms of term 1 and one of terms of term 0. First thing I notice is that the growth appears to be 8. Correct? Anyone? Okay, and term 0 is 3. So this would be 8n plus 3. My other option would be 8 and minus 1 plus 11. Okay, and then it tells me I'm going to start at 1 every time in math 3. And how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 7, 7. Okay, determine the number of terms in each arithmetic series. This one is the non-quad formula type. Just so you know. Sum equals n over 2 first term plus last term. 469 equals n over 2, 37 plus 97. See how they really they like spoon fed it to you this time. Aren't they nice? 37 plus 97. I did times. I don't know why. I divided those two. If you want to multiply both sides by 2 and then divide by 134, it's the same thing. Okay. I want you guys to all realize this is the easy way to do this one, not to do it. This is the easy version of this problem. Most of the time you have to do quad formula. You have to plug in the equation and do quad formula. This is not one of those. Do you know why it's not one of those? Because they gave you the last term instead of D. What do you mean? I added and then I divided by 2. Yikes. Okay, any questions about 10 or 11? Are you sure? Okay. This one's going to take a minute. Hey, real quick, make sure that you understand what I plugged in each spot. Also, make sure that I plug the right things into each spot. Does that look correct? Can anyone verify that it looks okay? Bueno? Okay. Now I'm going to do two things in my first step of algebra. I'm going to make this +2 and I'm going to make this 5. Now you just have squirrel in the tree. I can tell it's 3 just from here, but is it 3? Yeah, it's 3. But that's okay. Okay, now real quick, pausing here. Um, what should I do if I have a negative somewhere in my exponential? Yeah, just ignore it, really. I know it sounds terrible, but you have to trust me. It's fine, just because of the way multiplication works. Um, so don't freak out. And if it really does freak you out, solve it with a same base exponential instead of a log. Same base exponentials don't have the same rules. So you could just say 6 to the third equals 6 to the n and equals 3 if you want to. But I don't know, I'm too lazy to figure it out a lot of times, so I just do the log, but you have to ignore any negative. Also, I kind of feel like I could have just listed out the first couple of terms and gotten the third term and added it to negative 86. But you know, okay, go ahead. Last two. Evaluate each infinite geometric series described. Make sure that you have your formula correct. It's not r minus 1, it's 1 minus r for this. Okay, and what this means is you can only do this if the numbers are going down. So take a look over here. You see how the numbers are going up? This problem does not have a sum. It just goes to infinity. I haven't done the other problem yet, but this problem, the numbers are increasing. R is 4, so there's no sum. Okay, now this guy over here, though, we can do because the numbers are getting smaller as we go. Do we know what R is yet? Can anybody tell what R is? 1/5. And you could tell because the tops are staying ones and the bottoms are multiplying by 5. Okay, so I have sum equals 1/2 over 1 minus 1/5. Okay, I'm going to do this all out properly. 5/5 minus 1/5. Combine the bottom to 4/5. Keep, change, flip. 5/8. Okay, you guys, take a look up here, please. Text is a week from today. You can do the note part, the calculator, handwritten, blah, blah, blah. Okay, as I said, specifically, don't put the unit circle on there, please. Please don't. There'll be so much extra time and wasted. Okay, what you would need is triangles and what cosine, sine, and tangent mean if you move those, but, let's say. Okay, anyway. Topics you should expect to include infinite geometric cubes. That's the thing we just did with the fractions and the keep change flip. You had that on your quiz. Yeah. And it's multiple choice, so notice that. Solving equations using natural logarithms and e. So those are the ones we just did yesterday, where you solve for some variable either by condensing and then guided circle or cross out or swirling the truth. It depends on the version, which one of those you're going to get. Binomial expansion theorem is Pascal's triangle deal. Determine the number of terms in a geometric. Okay, that's the one that we just did where you have to log at the end. You plug everything into the geometric formula, get everything, answer equals base times exponent, log both sides, and ignore a negative if one comes up. Again, different versions. I just want you to all be sure you're ignoring any negatives in that. Okay, sketch an angle in standard position. Find the reference angle, draw and label the triangle, and then find the coordinate of the point. The angles in the other quadrants of that reference angle and coterminal angles to the original angle. This is sort of what you just did on the warm-ups a little bit ago, but there's also the ones where you have to draw it and then do 180 minus, 180 plus. Okay, there are some in your review assignment. So if you forgot how to do that, it'll come right back up for you.
Oh.
And then this, very, very important that you see the directions, how they are. It says write equations of sine and cosine wave. What that means is you're gonna have a wave and you have to find the equation. It's not, you're given an equation and you graph it, it's backwards. You have a graph. And you also need to find multiple equations, which means that you need to figure out the different H's and K's. Not K's, just different H's. So if it starts at the bottom, if it starts here, if it starts here. I believe. So in your last packet, we did a whole worksheet on that. But I also included two of those in your review assignment down here where they give you the wave and you write the equation, and then also in your team test, there's comparing the wave to the equation. So just so you know, I want to make sure the coterminal is really on here. Oh, gosh, yeah, it is. Okay, so all that stuff's on your review assignment. Your review assignment is the homework, but it's not due till Monday. Yeah, 3 nights homework. So just keep that in mind. But for the next 10 minutes or less, I want to know if you guys have any questions on either the maze or the log joke page that I can answer for you. Oh, yes. Let me show you. So this packet has all of them except. Any questions from the maze or the joke page? Did you get the joke? Pretty good, pretty good. What? Yeah, well, okay, here's the truth. I did not show you a joke last Friday because I ran out of time. So I have that one. Okay, here's my joke from last Friday that I didn't get to show you. It's natural log shopping in the organic produce department because he's all natural and organic. Because he's the natural log. I just like the fact that natural log has eyeballs. So you guys are telling me you have no questions about the maze or the joke page. Okay.